Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers, and joining me to talk about the very talented linebacker, Payton Wilson, coming out of North Carolina State, representing the Wolfpack. As always, super talented writer and now on-air talent, Mr. William Yanish III. How you doing, William?
I'm doing great this afternoon. How are you, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to talk about this young prospect with you as always. But before we get into it, guys, if you enjoyed the episode, give us a like, follow, share, and subscribe on our social media platforms. Facebook and YouTube, the main ones over there. But you can also go and check us out on our podcast on all major podcast streaming platforms, thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. Well, William, I'll let you kick things off, man. What do you like about Mr. Payton Wilson, the young man you see up on the screen?
Oh man, I finally got alerted that this kid existed, and I'm like, dude, I've got to do it. I'm a linebacker guy. I just have to. And by the original descriptions that I kind of got from people talking, just looking at his size and that kind of stuff, he kind of reminded me of Drew Sanders last year. But then I turned on the film and it was literally something completely different. I mean, this guy, he's 6'4", 238 pounds, and I mean that he could have played tight end. Maybe he should have played tight end, but that's exactly what his build looks like out there on a field. So I figured, if he's built like a tight end, looks like a tight end, then he can cover one, right? Now, that's kind of in today's NFL with the how they keep changing the rules, make
Right.
more touchdowns, everything else. I mean, that's one of those things. But this guy is a hell of a player, and I mean he is a solid. The way he plays, he is a wrap and drag tackler. He doesn't just run up and hit somebody and try to knock him over or something. I mean this guy is like a squid, the Kraken or something, freaking coming up and it just wraps around you, and I mean they go down. I mean this guy too, his coming out party this last year, I mean, he won the Chuck Bednarik Award, unanimous All-American, and the Dick Butkus Award. That's the best defensive player in college, and that's the best linebacker in college. He won both those awards. Not to mention, the first thing I turned on when the combine the other day, and I mean, poof! All of a sudden, I look up and dude just ran 4.43 in a 40, and I'm like, oh wow, dude. I mean this guy he's got a very relentless motor. I mean he takes great angles. I mean he would definitely be he might be best at middle linebacker or inside, depending on what 3-4. But I mean he can really play any role. I mean the dude can cover. I mean and he's got straight line speed. I mean, some of the film that I watched, he was, chasing down running backs from behind, and I mean that's a big dude to look behind you and see that guy coming, faster than you're going. But I mean, also, in the middle of the field, I mean, he's got the build and tall. I mean, that's one big dude to have to throw over and have the touch to throw over. That's an what do you call it? Never mind. Anyway.
Hey, he's like a tree up there, man. He's just a freak of nature,
Yeah,
with how
that's
he's able to just get to the ball like he is with his
that's
height.
that's pretty much it, and he's not a very good pass rusher. He doesn't have, very many moves like I mentioned Drew Sanders from last year. That guy had some pass rushing moves, but this guy is just a linebacker. I mean, you can send him after I mean, he had like 3 sacks and 3 forced fumbles last year, and I mean that never, is a bad thing.
Right.
And I mean, just blowing up the combine. I mean, this kid is. I like him. I think he's really going to be good. Um, I completely. I'm a Niners fan. I wouldn't mind them, drafting him, maybe in the second round, something like that. Wouldn't be too bad. He's, got the sports bloodlines. Milwaukee Brewers pitcher Bryce Wilson is his brother, I mean, there's not, too many things not to like about this guy. I mean, he's definitely changes, when talking about, taking advantage of matchups. I mean, this guy can be, if you put him in the right position, on the right guy, I mean, he can definitely cause some damage, wreak some havoc, and, take away, what they thought they had in a mismatch or, anything like that. I mean, that's kind of what the NFL has been coming to for a while is, just, and I don't know what they're feeding some of these kids, I mean, when they're sprouting up like this and, running 4.3 40s, I mean, I don't know, but he's going to be a good player. I'll tell you that, man.
For sure. My thoughts on Peyton Wilson. Like I say, he's a big guy, 6'4", 238, but as you mentioned, Williams, he's got that really good sneaky speed. I mean, you don't think he's the guy who would be this quick. I mean, especially a guy, let's not forget too, he suffered 2 ACL tears throughout his career. He got one in high school and he got one his freshman season. So I mean, this guy's already he's banged up, but my God, he's productive. He's able to overcome those injuries and be even stronger, which is a testament to how good medicine is nowadays and how good surgery is. But like you mentioned, he won 2 of the top awards you can get on defense this past season in 2023, and his college career he's been just really putting in work. Over 80 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 2020, 2022. This past year, as you mentioned, man, dominant. 138 in terms of tackles, 17 and a half tackles for loss, as well as 6 sacks, 3 INTs. I mean, there wasn't much he didn't do this past season other than bring the water for the water boy. I mean, this guy was super impressive. I just think what hurt him, and this isn't a knock to him, but I just think he didn't get enough media coverage because North Carolina State doesn't get the media coverage that you get like the Clemsons do in the ACC and whatnot. And so that's just a shame that more people weren't aware of Peyton Wilson, even coming into the combine, as you mentioned, where he kind of shocked a lot of people. But obviously, this dude's got breakneck speed, just speed for days, which is what you see more and more out of modern day linebackers. You get those speedy linebackers who can kind of do a little bit of everything. And as you mentioned, he's not a guy who's going to lay you out and knock you out cold, but he's going to get you to the ground, get you to the turf one way or another. And that's just what I like about him. He's got that bulldog, that wolf pack mentality. Is what Peyton Wilson has, and we know he's got that high football IQ, man. He seemingly just always knows where to go. He knows where the ball's at, knows where to be. He's not ever lost on many plays. If you look at the game film, he's always where he needs to be or close to it, to where he can get to the ball and make an impact. So I just think, man, overall, Peyton Wilson is a top-tier linebacker coming into this 2024 NFL draft class. And if you need some help on defense, if your linebacking core is a little bit weak, pick this dude up and you'll be happy you did so, and your team as a whole will thrive from it. Well, do you have any final thoughts here before we wrap things up today on Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State?
Well, I mean, he's good instincts, just like you mentioned, everything that you need in a football player, athletic. I mean, he's going to be a good one, I think.
Yes, he is. I think he's got all the tools to definitely succeed. It remains though where he will go in the 2024 draft. As always, Mr. William Yanish, appreciate you, man, coming on, talking some NFL draft prospects with me. I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you on another live episode.